Okay, looks like this is the clinic.
Sierra Madre Security Network. Check security hologram status. Status patrolling second floor. View security postings. Hologram Security Protocols 2.4. Security protocol holograms do just as the name implies, provide security. They are more perceptive than most conventional security guards, and are far more visible, providing a tangible sense of security. Hologram Addendum, Appearance 2.4.1. Security holograms have been programmed with the requested case-specific Sierra Madre protocols. These security holograms appear as Sierra Madre personnel, and they will respond to violence or unauthorized personnel just as conventional security guards would. Hologram Security Protocols 2.5. Security holograms use field of view sensors to perceive their environment and to ensure consistent pathing in their deployed space. While later versions will feature upgrades that allow for a 360-degree perception arc, the memory cells in current emitter models can only support perception of their environment in a cone in front of them. It is recommended to set security holograms to a patrol route, and it is best to purchase any stationary security hologram emitters in pairs to ensure full coverage of the environment. Hologram Threat Detection 2.6. When security holograms detect unauthorized guests or detect criminal action, they will change to an alert color and ensure visual identification of the issue. If this ever occurs an error, immediately move away from the hologram's field of view until they resume their normal protocol. If the behavior persists, they will enter engagement mode and promptly subdue offenders with their discharge beams. Note, as requested in the service contract, NE has installed EBE systems in all Sierra Madre security hologram emitters. Hologram Threat Response 2.6.2. Conventional security guards must be paid according to the risk that comes with potential harm. Not so with security holograms. They cannot be wounded, damaged, or bodily harmed. It is recommended that security hologram emitters are placed nearby their patrol route or guard location to ensure maximum pathing accuracy, but out of sight to prevent vandalism. Hologram Security Patrols 2.7. As with service holograms, security holograms cannot leave their emitter's maximum patrol range. They will pursue their target to the end of their emitter's perimeter. This allows for utility in creating restricted, staff-only areas. Hologram emitters 5.0. Hologram emitters are sturdy to regular wear and tear, but they can be damaged or broken if enough force is applied. It is recommended to place them out of view of guests and away from sources of liquid or condensation. If damage occurs, call the Customer Support Services phone number in the Hologram Emitter Repair Guide if this occurs. Do not attempt to repair the emitter yourself. Warning, do not approach an emitter that may have been tampered with.
Okay, this should actually help.
View Maintenance Posts. Hologram Installation and Maintenance. Welcome, and on behalf of your friends at NE, we thank you for purchasing the latest in service and security technology. If you encounter any problems, contact our urgent care service representatives at any time during the weekdays from 10 to 2 or from 11 to 1 on Saturdays. If no one is there to respond to your emergency, please leave a message and one of our trained representatives will return your call within the week.
That's a long time to wait.
Hologram Maintenance 8.3. Holographic greeting and security technology requires service from trained professionals and routine maintenance. While the emitters maintain a charge for hundreds of theoretical years, damage can occur and circuits can erode over time. As per the Security Madre exclusivity contract, we have pre-installed the custom energy recycling emitters requested by Mr. Sinclair and the Sierra Madre financiers.
Alright, let's do this.
Picking up an emitter signature. Watch for security holograms. Dangerous. Don't shoot them. Attacking them is useless.
Alright.
Watch for hologram security. Not as nice as the lady at the fountain, trust me.
Let me just see. Hello? You changed color. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Okay, you were right.
Sierra Mod
Let's get him to patrol the first floor. Okay. Ooh, more access codes, a doctor's bag. Good finds. Antitoxin.
What are we doing here for? This place is... well, it's haunted.
Are you kidding me? Everything here is haunted.
Sierra Madre Clinic Network Appointment Calendar. Sinclair and Miss Keys transmit to Sierra Madre. Sinclair and Miss Keys transmit to Sierra Madre. Domino and Miss Keys transmitted to Chief Physician's Terminal. Sinclair proposed moving one autodoc to casino and scheduling visits. Sinclair agreed.
Wait, why did Vera Keys have to go to the doctor so much? Was she sick?
Appointment calendar. Miss Keys showed up today, sans Sinclair, escorted by Mr. Domino. He explained to me that Miss Keys had developed a throat infection, and asked if the autodoc could help. I asked about the Sierra Madre's autodoc. He said he didn't want to alarm Sinclair. Ran some tests. Miss Keys' voice is fine. Her loss of voice was more listlessness, symptomatic of excessive Med-X usage. When I tried to speak to her about it, Mr. Domino intervened. I warned them too much of the chem could render a subject comatose, and Domino laughed. I lost my temper, and he said they'd return another time when I was in better spirits. I despise that man.
Oh, Dean seems to be charming as ever. But it seems she was taking medics to deal with whatever issue she had.
Unpleasant visit. Domino stopped by to ask about the test results and Vera's voice. He seemed concerned she wouldn't be ready for the gala event. I told him that if Miss Keys was concerned, she should see me, and I would only disclose her medical information to her specifically. I told him the autodocs were more than capable of healing Miss Keys' voice if she developed any throat infection, and they could even operate if she tore her larynx. He seemed satisfied by that, strangely enough. Then he actually apologized, and left a bottle of wine as a token of his appreciation. I told him I felt it was inappropriate. He insisted. I dumped it in the trash.
Well, this doctor at least seems legit.
Seriously, we should get out of here. The security holograms shoot on sight, and you can't even hurt them.
We'll deal with it, okay? They're on the first floor right now. Oh, hologram emitter. Maybe I could disable these. Okay. There you go, Dean. We won't have to deal with them up here. Now that I disabled it up here, if I tell it to patrol up here, it won't be able to. Yep. It's gone.
What's next?
Ooh, another key.
Sierra Madre Clinic Network Dispenser Codes. Codes for the public dispensers arrived today. Sinclair told us about them, so that they were basically overrides for emergencies, and that we should continue to schedule our regular supply requests. Sounds like we can get stems and chems for the machines, but that management would have access to the chem codes. Sinclair kept saying in an emergency with emphasis, like he expected trauma patients in and out of the clinic regularly or something. This is a resort, and we've got the autodocs, so we're basically glorified receptionists here. After his explanation, he kept asking me if I could make sure the code for Med-X was backed up. He must have said it 3 times? I don't think he realized. Must be stress. Made a backup of the code on this terminal just in case. Download dispenser code Medex. This is a backup Medex dispenser code for use in the vending machines.
Oh, he was clearly making sure Vera would be able to get the medic she needed. But in emergencies, did he expect the bombs to fall? A lot of pre-war people did, at least the smart ones.
Getting real tired of tourist season. No offense, but you guys are lowering the bar.
Look at this thing. That's an off-brand terminal. Wow, it seems like they only set up one hologram for this place. Oh. Ooh.
What's next? There's a picture. A bunch of headless saps all waiting for the pearly gates. Whoever did this messed up.
Seems like someone was trying to surgically remove the bomb collar. Doesn't seem to have worked.
Sierra Madre Clinic Network. Gas leaks. Admitted 3 workers from Puesta del Sol, switching station, exposed to some bizarre airborne toxin from the ventilation system. There was severe lung and tissue damage, and even though the concentration was highest in the lungs, it seems to absorb through the skin. This has to be looked into. This gas, whatever it is, may be building up in vents beneath the town. Ask the maintenance foreman to look into source before government inspectors get involved.
Gas? Is that what would become the cloud?
Safety suits. Chemical suits arrived today. They're bulky and hard to talk and move in. It's really difficult to unlock the class with the suit gloves on. Had to get one of the guys to help me out of it. I told the construction crew to keep the suits available for work in the switching station and to be careful with them. They seem a little finicky. Put in a request to Sinclair to order more in the event of a gas leak in the villa, and prepared cost estimates for another gas leak to support my case. I didn't even need to. He agreed to the request immediately, then asked if he could see the workers and make sure they were alright. Good stuff to see out of upper management.
Okay, so Sinclair was taking this seriously, although their hazard suits seemed pretty shitty. Are those the suits the ghosts wear? I can hear some thumping, but I don't know where it's coming from.
Here. Grew over the years, even without cars or factories.
Oh, okay, I can get medicine now. Oh, another stash.
Never should have left those stupid handprints. Dead giveaway.
But we need them. Look, you could take it off my dead body if I don't make it. Oh, someone locked themselves here in the bathroom.
Damn speakers at the end of the hall. Red light means they're shielded. Must be a way to shut them off somewhere else.
Really? Ah, damn it. Can't destroy them. This seems to be an auto dock. A really fancy one. Yep, works perfectly fine.
What, you need surgery done? Let's get out of here. Those speakers on the wall are making my nerves do a dance.
I'll figure it out. There's got to be a way to turn them off. Oh, fuck. There's two of them there. Damn it. Run!
Sure glad one of us knows what you're doing.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, they covered that whole area. We're not going to be able to get out of it unless we figure out a way to turn them off. Maybe here in the basement.
Watch out if you see a prize lying around.
Oh, there's a terminal
Ghost
down
people
here.
leave supplies as traps.
Clinic power status. Essential systems. Autodocs powered. Security hologram powered. Non-essential systems. Music speakers powered. Note, please inform clinic management before shutting down generator for maintenance. Disengage main power. Shutting down main power.
Okay, this should get rid of the speakers. It's not like there's any patients in here anymore. It worked.
Sierra Madre Clinic Network. Exhaustion. Mrs. Key's insomnia seems to have gone worse, so we ordered the new prototype Autodoc upgrade codes. Must have cost Sinclair a fortune. The new programs for the Autodoc ameliorate the effects of exhaustion. Spoke to the staff right away about side effects and dangers of prolonged use. Wanted to make sure they weren't using it to pull double shifts. Sinclair asked if these codes could be downloaded into public dispensers. The codes aren't compatible, unfortunately. He said he'd look into it. Guess his contacts at Big Mountain will be getting a call soon. Maybe he'll ask them to actually fix the broken bobby pin option at the vending machines. 50 chips for 5 is absolutely ridiculous.
Okay. What's that banging? What's this doing here? Some type of stealth armor. The banging's coming from here. Oh no, they're trapped in there.
Not getting any younger.
Dean, I think you're gonna have to wait while I get this person to help us.
Didn't think much of our chances. Now I'm thinking I was wrong. What's the next step?
Head back to the fountain.
You sure? I mean, look, you can't just tell me to walk now, you know. That's, well, not very friendly.
Just go. I'll meet up with you later.
I can't say it hasn't been fun. Well, I can. But I'll save it for my memoirs.
Uh-huh. Alright. Oh! Hello?
The woman before you looks disoriented in pain as she blinks a few times and winces, as if the act of blinking causes her pain.
Are you alright?
She looks at you, blinks again, then opens her mouth, but nothing comes out. She touches her throat, then traces the scar beneath her chin, and her eyes widen in alarm.
Look, I'm here to help.
She looks shaken. As she glances at the autodoc, she recoils. Her mouth opens, but again, nothing comes out. She looks back at you, and her hands clench into fists, her eyes narrow, and she takes a step back, studying you.
What's the matter?
The woman opens her mouth again, winces, then frowns, and drags a finger across her throat in a slow motion. She looks more angry than before now. Frowning, she touches her throat again gently, then her hand brushes her collar, then her frown deepens. Her eyes narrow as she traces the edge of the collar until she finds the lock. She begins to press it with her fingers.
Don't do that!
She looks surprised, then notices your collar and raises an eyebrow.
Let's just say we're in this together.
She frowns, narrows her eyes, then slowly shakes her head.
What do you mean by that?
She shakes her head again and draws a line in the air between the two of you.
Look, together we can get out of this.
She shakes her head once, then crosses her arms.
What exactly is wrong? Don't you want out of here?
She frowns, glances at the collar, looks back at you. She makes a circle with her hands, puts her hand over her eyes, and squints. She nods at you, then lowers her hand from her eyes, shakes her head. She draws a slow line between you.
You're looking for something else. Fine, I can help.
She studies you again, then her expression softens slightly. She shakes her head slowly and gives a silent sigh. She nods at you, then raises an eyebrow and nods at the door.
Alright, come with me.
Christine nods and steps slightly behind you, waiting.
Let's go. Honestly, you're already my favorite. Your helmet's cool, but it's a little hard to read your facial expressions with it on. Oh goodness, that machine really did a number on you. Wait a minute, those facial scars weren't done by the autodoc. The throat scar was.
She nods slowly, then puts her hand in front of her throat, closes it slowly, and then points at you.
I can't restore your voice. We'd need a real autodoc to do that.
She shivers slightly and shakes her head.
I get why you'd be scared. I don't understand why they shaved you bald, though.
Christine looks blankly at you, then touches her head, smiles, then shakes her head.
Wait, the autodoc didn't shave you bald?
She waves her hand, then shakes her head. She then nods in the direction of the casino.
No, wait, I want to hear this. You were bald before?
She nods with an exasperated look, then makes a circle with her hands, repeats it twice more, then raises her hands and waves them like wings. She puts both hands in front of her, then makes a motion with her hands as if writing something.
What? You were a Brotherhood of Steel scribe?
She nods. She looks impressed.
How the hell did you get out here?
She shrugs, then she points to you and shrugs.
Fair. Where were you before?
She moves her finger in a wider circle, then raises her hand over her eyes.
You were looking for something?
Shakes her head and makes a motion of two fingers walking.
You were over the moon?
She shakes her head and rolls her eyes.
Okay, you were looking for someone.
She nods and raises a finger.
A robot?
She shakes her head and pumps her fist near her chest.
Alright, someone alive.
She nods, makes a motion with her hands around her chin, drawing it down, and then she raises her hands and clenches them at the sky.
An angry, bearded man?
She points at your Pip-Boy.
You were looking for a man in a vault?
She shakes her head, points at your Pip-Boy again.
You were looking for a vault boy?
She shakes her head, points at your Pip-Boy again, and makes a talking motion with her hand.
You were looking for the vault boy, the classic character. I'm just kidding. The man on the holotape, Elijah?
She nods, looked concerned, taps the side of her head, and expands her hands.
Someone smart.
She nods, then circles her ear.
And nuts.
She nods, frowns.
Sounds like it's pretty important to you to find this person.
She frowns, raises two fingers, and has them walk together. Then she looks down on the two fingers and her face becomes angry. Then she chops her hand down and draws the two fingers apart. One of the fingers she points at herself.
I don't understand.
She repeats the chopping motion, slower, then draws the two fingers apart. She looks sadly at one of the fingers.
Oh, he cut you off from someone.
She nods.
Family? Husband?
She frowns, shakes her head, and even more so at husband.
Oh, girlfriend.
She hesitates, then waves her hand.
You were more than girlfriends. Lovers?
She nods and looks at you a little surprised.
What, you think I don't understand love?
She raises an eyebrow, looks at you.
I understand how important a loved one can be.
She nods slowly, studying you. She seems to be gauging you again. She makes a slow circle motion after a moment, taps her wrist.
Okay, I have other questions though.
She looks exasperated, then waves her hand in a circle in front of her.
How did you end up in the auto dock?
She moves her finger in a circle, frowns, then drags her hand down over her eyes. She raises them again, points to you.
You were knocked out?
She nods. She raises an eyebrow, points at you, makes a circle, then points at your feet.
You want to know how I got here?
She smiles, nods. She repeats the circling motion again. This time she lowers her hand and circles her finger inward until she's pointing at the spot between you. Still pointing at the ground between you two, she raises an eyebrow.
Followed a radio signal here, a woman's voice.
She waits. After a second, she raises her eyebrow again.
Thought I may have stumbled on an old world treasure cache. Wouldn't be the first time, but this one looked big.
She looks at you for a second, studying you, then nods. She points at you, then points to the casino, and she slowly shakes her head, then points in the direction of the main gate.
Are you saying it's one or the other?
She frowns, glances in the direction of the casino, then the exit, then back in the direction of the casino. She shrugs, without strength or convention. She isn't looking at you when she does.
What about you?
She slowly shakes her head, then points at the ground.
Ah, you have business here. Out of the questions.
She raises an eyebrow, then tilts her head slightly.
Do you know how to get out of here?
She points in the direction of the main gate, then points at your collar, shakes her head, and locks her hands around her neck. Then her hands lash outwards, fingers blade, and she rolls her eyes back. After a second, she turns back to you and shakes her head.
So once the collars are gone, we can just leave?
She nods slowly, as if thinking. Then she raises an eyebrow, looks skeptical, then shrugs. She points downwards, makes a circle around her, then back to the same spot, and then her finger drifts, circling, and she makes a mock frown.
You're saying it'll be difficult to return here if we leave.
She shakes her head, points at herself, then points at you, nods.
To return here if I leave.
She nods.
But not you?
She nods once.
Why can't you find your way back?
She slowly shakes her head. She points to the ground, then moves each leg outwards, straddling the place where she's pointing.
You aren't going to leave?
She nods.
Are you trying to break into the casino?
She frowns, shakes her head, pauses, then tilts her head slightly, nods slowly.
What? That doesn't make sense. Do you know what those machines around the villa are?
Christine shakes her head, then pauses and makes a small circle with her thumb and forefinger. She points at you, makes the motion of putting something in her palm.
You want a small circle?
She frowns, shakes her head.
Let's try that again. Okay, here's the Sierra Madre chip. I might need that back.
She examines the chip for a second, raises it to her eye, then turns it to the side, gauging its diameter and width. She runs her finger over the surface slowly, checking the engraving. She then tosses the chip back to you. She then pretends to look around, sees something on the floor, then pretends to bend down and pick it up. She then looks at you and nods.
You can scrounge more somehow.
She smiles, nods. She stands still for a second, then stops and slowly makes the motion of bending down and scooping something up. Then she holds the imaginary object in her hand as if heavy, and puts it in front of her as if on a table. She then hefts what looks like a small box and pours it on top of the object, looks at it, then reaches down and holds up a small O.
You can make more of those at a workbench with the right materials.
She smiles, nods. She points at your Pip-Boy, makes a motion of opening it up and removing something from it. She then raises her hand and makes the motion of smashing it and holding up the remains.
You need a battery, a fission battery, and scrap metal, and you can counterfeit the chips.
She nods, impressed. Then she points at you, then her, and makes a circle.
Can you teach me how to do it?
She nods. She then makes a series of hand motions to represent weights and amounts, enough so that you think you could do it on your own. Christine has taught you the coin operator perk, allowing you to make Sierra Madre chips, metal slugs, at workbenches using fission batteries and scrap metal.
Quite the forger. What weapons are you skilled at?
Christine draws a jagged lightning bolt in the air, pantomimes throwing a grenade, and then pulls an imaginary knife from behind her back. Then she moves her feet shoulder-width apart, holds up a martial arts stance, then rapid fires into pistols, pantomimes rapid firing. She then holds one pistol up, takes aim as if sighting along the barrel, and does a single shot, ends with a nod.
Energy weapons, explosives, melee, unarmed, and guns. Is that all?
She nods, once.
Okay. Can't you communicate some other way? Can you write?
Christine frowns, then pauses and traces one of the scars on her head with her finger. She then makes a motion as if picking up a pencil, tries to write, then shakes her head.
Something to do with the surgery.
She pauses, then draws a jagged symbol like electricity in the air, then puts on an odd, staring face. She keeps the blank face for a second, then slowly blinks, looks around, she looks at her hands, shakes them, then lets them go limp.
That's a specific form of brain surgery using electrodes. Pre-war.
She nods, slowly, then makes the motion of typing and drawing X's and lines in the air, and then gives a thumbs up.
You can still do math. That's good to hear.
She nods, smiles.
Alright, I think we're good. Let's go. This like a backup stealth suit you brought? So cool. Hope you don't mind if I take it.
Christine stops, glances at the speaker, then glances at your caller, frowning.
It's a decayed speaker. If we stay too long near one, it'll go off.
She taps the collar, then opens and closes her hand really fast. She taps her collar, then opens and closes her hand really fast. She points at your Pip-Boy, her collar, and then your collar. After a second, then she opens and closes her hand slower.
You can interfere with the speaker's detonation frequency somehow?
She's about to nod, then stops, points at herself, and shakes head. She points at your collar, then hers, then nods at your Pip-Boy. She makes a triangle motion, then the same slow pulse as before with her fingers.
Does that work with any other color?
She frowns, slowly shakes her head. She opens her mouth, then makes the motion of tuning a dial, then points at herself.
It's just your frequency.
She nods once again, then again points at the two of you, then the Pip-Boy.
Great, how romantic.
She looks puzzled for a second, then glares at you and motions for you to move on.
Oh, come on. It's just a joke. But okay, she hacked her collar slightly to just the frequency, and I can piggyback off that. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, God. Oh, no, no, no. Shit. Oh, God. Nope, nope. Come on, come on. Oh, shit, shit. Okay, okay. Don't worry, I got it. Another victim. Oh, card. Fuck. Here's a speaker nearby. There it is. Okay, got it. Oh, fuck. Ugh, ow! Okay. Come on, we gotta go to the fountain. Alright, whole gang's here. Now that we're safe by the fountain, all of this pre-war entertainment tech reminds me I'm publishing new issues of Lollipops magazine.
Christine rolls her eyes.
The irony of posing for a men's magazine isn't lost on me, but we can still have a lot of fun.
Christine points at you, makes a V with her index and middle fingers, then flicks her tongue between them. She then lowers her hand and shakes her head emphatically side to side.
No, my interest is purely professional. Well, mostly professional, but no funny business, I promise.
Christine considers for a moment, then nods.
Cool, let's shoot with the casino in the background.
She starts to lift her shirt, stops, looks around nervously.
Don't worry, nobody will see us. Well, at least not any humans with the prurient interest. And Dean and God aren't human, so...
She nods vigorously and points at the fountain's hologram emitter.
Oh, that guy. He doesn't seem like he'd be interested in a photo shoot.
She points at the hologram emitter again, then at herself. She cups her breast with her hands. She makes a circle with her thumb and fingers, holds it down in front of her pelvis, then moves it rapidly up and down.
Most guys who buy it do that, but imagine his frustration knowing he'll never have the real thing.
She seems momentarily surprised, and then a malicious grin spreads across her face. Finally, she nods and takes her top off.
Alright, take it off whenever you're ready. Great job. I might have to edit it a bit in post, but that's fine. Wait around the fountain with the others. Yeah, I'm sure. Go. Okay.